It's week 6 of the NFL, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the reigning Super Bowl champs and the Lions, and it's coming up next on EA Sports.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. Both teams emerging from the Ford Field tunnels just a short time ago. And, of course, the loudest cheers were reserved for the hometown Lions. They're set to go as they will match up with the Denver Broncos. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories. Meanwhile, for the visiting Broncos, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
The numbers for Williams a week ago, pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in, and they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a big play there for the Broncos.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. It's complete to Williams. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They're doing their plan is working. But I flip it over and watch and say, okay, what are you going to do to change things?
And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Javonte Williams with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Extra point by Seibert, up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. And out will come the leader of this offense, and that, of course, is their signal caller.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
And they'll begin by running the option. He's got a first down past the 30. He stiff arms it, and he's going to get it all the way down to the 10-yard line. A big play there on the option. Well, we have seen some rookie running backs come in and have a big impact year one, and this guy would certainly fit that bill, as that was one heck of a run there.
And what I really enjoyed about that run and what made it so impressive to me was how he improvised along the way. Sometimes on a big play, you just get the football and you take off in a straight line and go. But this time, how about the artistry of that play? That looked a little bit like a Picasso to me.
And you can see on the next-gen stats here, his total distance covered close to 90 yards that time. So not quite a first and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
On second down, Swift. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 5.
And they'll try to run the option here. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
And his kick is indeed good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there, because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things, because if you don't score, you potentially open the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Let's go!
So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you and I were talking about this before the game. This one for them kind of has some extra importance.
It certainly does, because if they can get the win here and pad their lead a bit, or at least keep pace, then they can really kick their feet up and say a job well done at this point, and not have to worry about ball at all until they're back in their facility, back in their meeting room, getting ready for the next game.
From the 29, Wilson. That's going to be caught by Judy.
Wilson's pass. Complete to Jerry Judy. A gain of 7. First down, Broncos.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And unable to get downhill there, as he'll take this up to about the 37. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now, this defense for the Lions, they put together a strong effort last week in the win over Chicago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we...
And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. We'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Well, I think that time he just maybe held on to it a little too long, CD, because after a couple of seconds in this league, you know those defenders are coming.
And how many times do we talk about complementary football? And we usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get the ball. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
Pilardi now on to punt as he sends this one away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Lions will take over. Back onto the field come the Lions for their 2nd overall drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And hold everything here because DJ Chark, after that last play, went down, and he's yet to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. A look there at his numbers on the ground a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 10.
They're going to look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
And a dangerous throw there, incomplete. He threw that into coverage. It was nearly intercepted. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he rifles one incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
It's headed right. It's no good. He misses wide of the upright. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
And coming out now, the Broncos. And they have the game here followed by the open date on the calendar next weekend. And, Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first. Well, that was man coverage, so once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He'll get this one to Patrick. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Good coverage on the outside, and I think that's where he wanted to check that down to. But once he saw the danger over there, he just threw that one over everyone's head. Smart play.
Throwing again here, Wilson. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one drops in the end zone. Oh, looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Now listen, now no kick from 50-plus is a gimme, but here you're indoors in a dome. You'd think ideal conditions.
Yeah, and it's one that he would expect himself to make, not just us expecting him to make it. Over the years, my theory is very simple. The athletic ability of kickers continues to get better and better. Check their backgrounds. They were all county, all state, at other positions, not just soccer players. These guys expect themselves to be great as well.
Now a play fake here on first down.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And he whips that one incomplete there.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. Flushed out right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
Let's go.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
At the 46-yard line.
Looking to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on second down. The line, third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
A CD, you know, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on him before he got the quarterback on the ground.
39 yards on the punt, give him just 1 yard on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They were losers to the Packers a week ago, but they've got the lead right now here as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now a timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 29, Wilson. They'll set up the screen. This is Williams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Throwing now, Wilson on first down.
He'll get that complete to Albert O.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
But when you hit him on the move like that, he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam. Oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. And he checks this one down to Williams. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Wilson will throw again. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Now it's Wilson. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple of weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So
seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
So we come upon half. Taking the lead to the locker room as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin up at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. And they're drawing close to halftime with the Vikings out on top. The Vikings seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. From there, we'll head to Cincinnati to check on the Bengals at home at Paul Brown Stadium. And you can see they trail the visiting Buffalo Bills in that ball game. Stephon Diggs, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get to the Windy City, see what's happening with the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And they lead the visiting Raiders at halftime. The former Buckeye, Justin Fields, with a touchdown pass. Moving on, let's take a look at the next-gen stats for the Broncos in that first half. And they've definitely been able to exploit some holes in that opposing secondary, as they threw for close to 200 yards in those first 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Lions, we check on their numbers on the ground in the first half, as they know they'll need to be better to overcome this halftime deficit. Final adjustments being made in both locker rooms. They are just about set to get back to football in Detroit. And for the call of the second half, we'll kick it back up to Ford Field and Brandon.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And that'll be incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
Now left side on the swing pass. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll get this only up to about the 35. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he had the touchdown on the last drive, also 4 for 4. Very, very effective. What does he need to do to translate that forward into this drive?
Not think that what he saw in coverages last time is exactly what he's going to get again. He's got to play ahead and start thinking to himself, okay, we just did that. What are they going to take away now? What do we go to as a counter and continue to encourage his offensive line to continue to give him time?
They were really good on the last drive. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 87 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They run it again with Williams. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Now Wilson on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
On third down, Wilson. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a two-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
I can't believe they even let you play.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And, oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Randy Gregory able to get him for a loss of about 3. The Lions on third down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And Bojorquez on to punt as he gets it away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
But listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area. He just put it well over his head, out of harm's way.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
112 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock. And this is 2nd and less than a yard. Off the option, here's Williams. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Deshaun Elliott there on the tackle.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just the week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for Denver, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Lions, they can't quite seem to turn things around as they fall into 2-4 now on the year. And they'll be off to Minneapolis next week for a look at new U.S. Bank Stadium and a date with the Vikings.